So a couple days ago, an ICE agent recorded himself shooting and killing a woman by the name of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. I bring up the recording himself bit because I feel like that's kind of under-discussed. He wasn't wearing a body cam. He was walking past the front of her car and recording with a smartphone in one hand as he took out a gun with his other hand to shoot her, which is just... what? There are a bunch of different angles of this killing. I'm not here to debate the exact millisecond that Jonathan went from focusing on quality video to I need to end this woman's life. I'll leave that up to somebody else. Today, I just want to briefly talk about my main takeaways, some scary things that I learned, the nature of the internet, the value of life. I don't know, just a bunch of super fun stuff. Indulge me. I'm not going to talk about this that long. It's pretty upsetting stuff.
Derapy. The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job.
Absolute immunity because he was doing his job is a pretty crazy thing to say one day after an incident where an unarmed woman was murdered, but that's the position of the Vice President of the United States. He said that Thursday, the woman was killed Wednesday, and we're supposed to accept that. I think that's actually the theme of the show today. What are we willing to accept? The ICE agent in question, Jonathan Ross, wasn't even dealing with the people they're out there to deal with. But they killed someone who at worst blocked a road, then tried to drive away when they tried to force her door open. And they're granted absolute immunity? Sick. Then we have President Orange, who within hours of the incident says the woman who was killed, she, quote unquote, violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. Now I want you to imagine someone being run over, and then I want you to consider the video of that man not being run over.
Can you see it?
It's on video. He just didn't get ran over. Is that something that we should be willing to accept? A woman gets killed and the president's like, well, it's because she ran a guy over, and then you watch a video of a guy not being run over and nothing happens. I guess that just doesn't matter that the president just lied about that. This man not only wasn't run over, right after shooting this woman, he called her, fucking bitch. You hear that? He recorded himself saying that. Fucking bitch. Not ow my leg, not oh my god she hit me, oh my god she ran me over, not I need a medic, just name calling. And that man would proceed to walk away. There's video of him just walking away completely normally. At some point, he seems to be making like a rotating motion with his finger saying somebody call 911, even though he shot her and his phone is in his hand. It was in his hand when he shot her. He walks to his own vehicle and just drives off, which is also crazy because you can just kill somebody and then leave? That feels worse than a hit and run. You don't have to wait for backup. You don't have to file a report. You don't have to consult with your other people there. If you didn't do anything wrong, why leave? I'm getting off topic. Jonathan Ross kills a woman, curses them, dips out. Vice President says the guy has absolute immunity. President lies instantly. I mean, the entirety of Trump's post initially is insane. He said it was hard to believe that man is alive, but he's now recovering in the hospital. The only thing that man injured was his feelings. Kristi Noem is the Secretary of Homeland Security. She's supposed to be overseeing these masked, armed agents in unmarked cars. This was her take, and it is not only unhinged, but also, get this, full of more lies.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism.
Now, this would make sense if she was saying that the shooting was an act of domestic terrorism. But no. She's referring to the person that was killed.
What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle and a woman attacked them.
There's a video. Kristi Noem says they were trying to get a car out of the snow when a woman attacked them, and that's why she was shot. But that's literally not what happened. A woman was parked in the road, they ordered her to get out of her car, grabbed at her door handle, and she tried to drive away before she was shot. You can see it from any angle. There are 3 total ICE agents around her, and she's driving away from most of them. as she's shot. If she was a domestic terrorist, as she's being referred to, why wouldn't she drive towards where there's more of them?
And a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
Obviously, the murder is the worst part, but what will stick with me longer as somebody that did not know the victim personally is the gaslighting from the government. I can't accept that. I would hope that nobody would. Even if you love ICE and that orange for some reason, wouldn't you like to live in a country where you're not blatantly lied to? Wouldn't you like to live in a country where your political affiliation doesn't determine whether or not somebody should just die because they drove in the direction of somebody that was circling their vehicle? Again, I'm not here trying to break this down, like trying to determine whether a team had pass interference or not. Like, I think that the entire overanalyzation and analysis of this video is kind of something that should be left to professionals, which is why I'm going to play this short clip of this 25-year career federal agent who just talks about the guy circling the vehicle and why that's kind of ridiculous.
You should not be intentionally putting yourself in front of a vehicle unless absolutely necessary. And with a cell phone in his left hand, he draws his pistol with his right hand and in a very quick succession rattles off 3 rounds.
Under the Department of Homeland Security's use of force policy, firearms may not be discharged solely to disable a moving vehicle, and shooting at a moving vehicle is tightly restricted.
So my training was that you cannot use deadly or lethal force solely to stop a fleeing vehicle. Do you have another option other than pulling the trigger?
Get out the way! If you can get out of the way without pulling the trigger, why pull the trigger?
Really? Why?
Because that is what I've been waiting to hear from anybody that's trying to say that these actions are justified. Do we actually think that she was gonna spin the block and come back through? I don't think anybody thinks that, which is why I think that the killing is the point. And I know that sounds really drastic, but listen to what this man said. This is a U.S. congressman.
And if you get in the way of the government repelling a foreign invasion, you're going to end up just like that lady did yesterday.
Yeah, that was U.S. Congressman Randy Fine. And I'm going to ask you again, is that acceptable? Is the punishment for interference or inconvenience death? Regardless of what you contributed to society before, Homeland Security could just be like, yeah, that person was a domestic terrorist. A congressman will come out and say that it's a warning. It's a sign of what's to come. The vice president will say that the person that killed you was actually absolutely immune from any consequences. And the president will say, didn't you see him run that guy over? Even if you didn't, even if it's on video that you didn't. These people will lie, run cover, outright threaten. And to me, the act is horrific, but the whole nothing ever happens thing feels even worse, knowing that there probably won't be accountability for this person or any of the people that spoke on this. I don't have the answer, but I just want you to know what's happening and what these people in power are saying about it. My take is that it's entirely unacceptable. Dual wielding a smartphone and a pistol is inconceivable. Lying about what is clear as day on video is just as bad to me. JD Vance, just in the past hour or two, is still on the Bird app as I record this, claiming that all the shots went through the front windshield. You can tell by the video. But in the video, there's literally one hole in the front windshield, and everybody knows that the second 2 were shot through the side. I hate it here. I can't talk about it anymore. I want to talk just a little bit about Renee. She was, a human being with value before her life was cut short by a dweeb. She was an award-winning poet, a mother of 3, and a loving wife. Renee's mom said that she was loving and forgiving and affectionate and one of the kindest people she'd ever known. And whenever Renee wasn't busy reading or writing, she was having movie marathons and making messy art with her 3 kids. She'll be remembered for more than what happened on Wednesday to the people who love her, and I think that's certainly worth noting. She's a victim, of course, but she wasn't always. She had a whole life before then. And speaking of that, I want to leave you all with some information you may not know. I don't keep up with ICE and all their evil, generally speaking, because why would I? But this situation has opened my eyes to more about these twerps, what they've been up to. Reportedly, an off-duty ICE agent shot and killed a man named Keith Porter around New Year's Eve. No charges have been filed. They're trying to say that, like, he was out here celebrating with a gun, and an off-duty ICE agent was like, there must be an active shooter out there. So he grabbed his own gun that was given to him by ICE. I don't even know if he was in uniform when he went out there or not. And he was just like, man, I gotta save this community. And he just killed a man. This is the power that's being given to people that probably should not have it. Furthermore, according to NPR and Reuters, over 30 people died in ICE custody last year. A lot of what's happening is not on camera, so please be safe out here, be diligent. I'll have my editor leave some links in the description if you want to find out more about this stuff, or if you want to donate to Renee or Keith's family. But keep your eyes open. I'm not saying take all the time every week to read a bunch of articles about all the terrible things that are happening throughout the Trump administration, what ICE is doing. But if there's a video, if there's something trending, please at least watch the video. At least just look and see what's going on. Be a human about it and ask yourself this: what is acceptable to you? What is undeniably true? Should there be accountability? Did a life have to come to an end in this instant, in this incident? Are those in power lying straight to your face? Shouldn't somebody do something about that? What can we do about it? That's what I'll ask you. That's what I'll leave you with. I'm just a yapper, but please let me know what, if anything, can be done outside of just voting. Rest in peace to Renee. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, and
fuck ice. The diamonds do go crazy. My girl say you so crazy. The bullshit rules don't faze me. The bitches and hoes gon' love me. The niggas and hoes gon'